So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dave from Z4 Games, bringing you a test stand video for a deck that has been comboed and profiled to death by Joe. But I haven't had this much fun playing a deck like this since TGs, and TGs are hella fun. So if you haven't guessed by the link Garibo to my left, we are doing a test stand video for AI Ignisters or Act Ignisters. Now this deck is incredibly fun. Unfortunately it does contain 3 of the 8 secrets from Ignition Assault. The most of them being the field spell, which sits at about 20 quid, and you need at least 2, at the very least 2. And then you need 3 of the Fire, 1 of Chi-Chi, and 3 Picari, which are about 8 to 10 quid each. And then not to mention you do require 3 Ultras as well. 2 of each for the extra deck, and then 3 of the Ultra for the main deck. Again, at least 2. But, incredibly fun deck, and I can't wait to see how this deck does in Master Rules as well. And they also get some brand new support coming out, which allows you to put back your bricks of AI land and draw 3 cards, which is quite nice, but you do have to open up 2 of the field spell. So, anyway, after a very decent shuffle and a good old-fashioned cut, what we're going to do is I'm going to do test stands 2 going first and 2 going second to show you its defensive plays and its offensive plays. So our opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the way the AI land works and the way the Ignisters work is they all have different effects. Some will get additional effects depending if they're used for like a Synchro, XYZ or Fusion Summon. But AI land, as long as you control no monsters in the main monster zone, you can special summon a Ignister monster from your hand to the main monster zone, but you can't special summon one of the same attribute that you've already special summoned using AI's land effect. So it's not hard once per turn, which is beautiful. It's not even a soft once per turn. You can use it as many times as you want as long as you don't summon the same attribute, which basically means you can't special summon the same monster. So that's the one thing you've got to keep an eye out for. So what you're going to do is you're going to special summon your Picari using the effect of the field spell. That will then trigger Picari's effect to search you out an AI spell. Now, if we didn't have AI Dual Reborn, we would search that out. The only other card we can search out right now, you can search out another field spell if you want to, but it's not really worth it unless you feel that you're going to get it. You feel that it's going to get destroyed. We are going to go with the AI Love Fusion just to be safe. Now, AI Love Fusion again is better going second, purely because if your opponent has a link monster, you can use that as fusion material. So it's like a mini super poly. But I didn't see the point in searching out another field spell or another quick play Reborn in this scenario. Now, obviously, in other scenarios you can do. I just want to try and push for as many kind of plays that we can do. So we're going to get rid of the Picari, link it off into the Link Garibo, and I'm going to put the Link Garibo over here just so you can see it clearly because of the light. I'll move that down there. That then frees up our main monster zone to be able to special summon another monster from our hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to special summon out our Buru. Buru's effect is basically a Foolish Burial. So what you want to do is you want to send like a Doyon or a Chi-Chi. I think Chi-Chi actually might be the better option because we've got that reborn, so... There we go. We're going to send a Chi-Chi so we can search out Doyon and get our plays going further that way. Then what you want to do is you want to link these 2 together and go into your Cyverse Wicked. There you go, Cyverse Wicked. Now we haven't used our normal summon yet, we probably could have used it on the Buru to be honest. But what we're going to do from here is we're going to use, again, Field Spells effect to special summon down the Hirari. Again, it's a free special summon because it's a what one we haven't used that before. We're then going to use Wicked's effect and we're going to banish the Link Garibo because it's the only one we don't really need right now. And that's going to let us search out the Buru. There we go. And then what we're going to do is going to link these 2 together and we're going to go into our Cyverse, or our Transcode Talker. That's going to go there. Transcode Talker effect is going to go off. Now, usually if this is one we haven't special summoned, you would special summon this first, just to get you the additional monster on board. But what we're going to do is we're going to have to special summon the Wicked. And just because we want the effect of it, we're going to activate the Idol Reborn to bring back our Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is going to search you out your Doyon, which is really important because this gets your combo going a little bit further. And then because you've got 3 monsters with different names, you're going to use them all as link 1s. I'm going to go into your Dark Templar at Ignista. This card is insane, I love it so much. Then you haven't special summoned Doyon this turn, this is in the graveyard. So you're going to special summon the Doyon. Doyon's effect is going to go off, and that is going to add you back any of the at Ignista monsters that you wish. Now keep in mind, we've special summoned all of these off of the field spell's effect. So you want to, we're going to be reviving 2 off of your Dark Templar. So you want to revive your Tuna and your level 4 Picari. So we're going to add the Hyari back to our hands just because it's a free summon that we can use later on. You're then going to synchro now all these effects and negate the ones that come back with Dark Templar's effect, but you're going to use your Buru and your Picari, and you're going to go into your Wind Pegasus. Now if you want to go more defensively and protect some of your cards, you can go into a Cyber's Clock Dragon. That would probably be your better defensive play rather than Wind Pegasus in this example right now. And then your Buru effect is going to go off to revive you one of the materials used for its Synchro Summon, or used with it for its Synchro Summon except itself, so that's going to be your Picari. This will then allow you to overlay into the rank 4. If you want to, you can use Hyari's effect to special summon itself and then use that as the overlay unit, because you can use Picari's effect to turn it to a level 4, but we don't want to do that. We want to use this there and hold that there. That is going to put you into your Light Dragon. Now you are locked into Cyberse. That is part of the effect of the field spell and definitely the Monster Reborn as well. But this gives you enough to play around with. And what we're going to aim for is we can aim for a little bit further because we've got the AI Fusion. If you want to go all out, use the AI Fusion. Use these 2 right here. And that will take you into the Fusion. Now it really depends on how greedy you want to get and how far you want to go. Because what you could do right now technically is you can go into a not Dark Templar Dragon, sorry. You can go into a Firewall Dark Fluid Dragon with 2 negates and you keep one of these on board. Alternatively, if you didn't want to go into the Fusion, you would use these 2 to get into a Fluid, and the Fluid would have 2 negates, and then you would special summon out your at Ignista, and then you would tribute this off to bring back the Link Garibo, just to give you protection on your Dark Fluid. Now alternatively, with this board, the way you can play as well is you can go into an Avramax. And if you wanted to get an indestructible Avramax, you could use 2 of these to go into a IP Masquerena, and then use IP Masquerena plus your Templar and the Light Dragon to go into your Avramax. So it really depends on if you want it to be indestructible or how you want to go. Now the most defensive play right now, in my opinion, would be to use at least 2 of these. Oh, let's get that out of the way. Use your Templar plus 2 of these. Now I'm going to keep the Fusion out there because the Fusion is quite nice. Actually no, we'll keep the XYZ. XYZ gives you destruction protection. So we'll keep the XYZ out there and we'll go into our Dark Fluid. Now Dark Fluid, of course, because you used a Synchro and a Fusion, will gain 2, so it gained 5k, so it is actually a 5k Firewall Dark Fluid Dragon with 2 monster negates. Now like I said, an evenly matched kind of kicks your butt on this one, and so does an Imperm on your Firewall Dragon. So that is where if you have the ability to extend, so if you wanted to keep the Fusion in hand, keep your materials for a bit more extension play, and keep the Fusion play, you could use the Dark Fluid, all of this to go into the Firewall, still have 2 negates. You then special summon down your Hyari because you control an at Ignista monster. You then tribute this off for your Link Garibo if you didn't banish it earlier on, which you can banish another target. And Link Garibo then comes back and gives it protection. Or you can just link it straight into another Link Garibo, and that just gives you protection from an Imperm and protection from an evenly matched. Not massively on the evenly matched because you're still gonna, like, it just means you get to keep your field spell. So that's it for one of the defensive kind of plays. The combos are pretty much the same, but it's more about how you get to it and then the choices you make. Now, I know Joe likes to go for the Avramax kind of play, and I prefer to go for the Dark Fluid play. Obviously, Avramax takes a little bit less, but the Fluid gives you more negation, basically. Okay, so moving on to our second test and going first. This one will obviously be a little bit faster than our first one, and we can show you what the deck does. So, after a very decent shuffle, and a cut on that one, and then a cut on this one here. There we go. Our second opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a bad hand, to be totally honest, because you've got a lot to play off of here. Now, you can normal summon your Bouncer Lord, pay 1,000 for additional normal. Now, you don't have to use the additional normal right away, but we are going to do that because we're going to normal summon our Picari. Picari is going to search us out the field spell. That just gives you additional plays going on later on. Now, I was talking to Joe about swapping out the debug because it can become a bit of a brick, because you could do Bouncer Lord into debug, but then you can't really go any further unless you gamble it with the desires to kind of get the field spell. Whereas with this play, we've got enough to kind of work around. So what we can do is you go with the AI land there, and then you're going to link these two together, and you're going to go into your Wicked. Wicked is then going to use this effect. The best thing is you can use the special effect of the field spell now to special summon down your Picari to Wicked Zone. That will then trigger Wicked to banish your Balancer Lord and search you out a Cyverse Tuner, which of course is going to be your Buru. You're then going to special on Buru off the effect of Balancer Lord and use Buru's effect to send one from your deck to your graveyard. Now, we're going to send our... do I want to send Doyon or a Chi-Chi? Just got to think about how we want to go with this one. Doyon brings one back. Doyon is a little bit more important right now as well. Let's go with the Doyon. Now the issue is here, you do have to rely on the effect of desires right now. Because what we've got to do is we've got to link these up. Now you can link into a link 4 if you want to, but what we kind of want to be going a little bit further forward into is you want to be going into your Dark Templar. Now to trigger Dark Templar's effect, you do need to get a special summon to a zone it points to. So we're going to activate Desires, and we're going to banish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and draw 2, 1 Silent Mining and 1 Lady Debug. So that's actually perfect for what we need because it gets us everything, unless you've banished all that we wanted, but I don't think we have. We've lost a Doyon and an Chi-Chi. So not bad at all. Then use your Silent Mining, get rid of those. All you really need is an Agnista that hasn't been special summoned yet. Now Chi-Chi will let you extend a little bit further, which is good because then we can bring back the Doyon as well. So you can special summon the Chi-Chi, and this is where it goes the other way around. So if you sent the Doyon, then search out the Chi-Chi. If you sent the Chi-Chi, search out your Doyon. This will then trigger to bring back your Doyon and your Buru. Buru can then, now their effects are negated because of Templar. That can then synchro into the Wind Pegasus or the Clock Dragon again. And I'm trying to think, would it have been better to go into the Doyon? Doyon then lets me add one back to hand, whereas the Picari would let me turn that into a rank 4. So it might have been better to actually bring back the Picari. Pure because you bring back the Picari, use that as synchro material with this, and the Buru brings back the Picari. That then allows you to use Picari's effect to turn this into a 4 and overlay into the XYZ. There we go. The only thing that the Doyon would have done is it would have given you another card back in hand as a bit of extension. But this is what you kind of needed to get this board going. Now, like I said, if this is Clockwork, or Clock Dragon, sorry, you can leave that there. Alternatively, this is a little bit weaker than the last board. Because we're going first, you want to use all 3 of these. It's the only real defensive play you've got, because if you get even lead or any kind of protection, all you've got is a destruction protection with Light Dragon. This then gives you Fluid with 2 negates and an 8k beater. So it does give them a little bit to worry about, and you've got your Lady Debug to play around with as well. Now, the build of this, the build I've gone with this deck is mainly to go second. There's a couple of cards in here that I need to change out just to make it more effective going second, because I need like a Dark Ruler no more to be mained, or more effectively and evenly matched. Because what you can do with this deck is, with an evenly matched, or even Lightning Storm if you've got them, you can pull apart their board, because you've got not only a Synchro that pulls apart back row, you've also got a XYZ that pulls apart monsters as well. So it gives you a lot to play around with. So now we're going to move on to our third test hand, and this will be going second. So this will be working with the 6th card, going for the OTK plays, and trust me, the OTK plays are a lot more fun. Really, really do like the OTK plays with this deck. So after a very decent shuffle, and again another cut, our first hand of 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not bad, not the best, but not the worst. So we're going to go with Terraforming on this one. and that is going to allow us to get the field spell, which is really, really important right now. Where are we? Field spell's there. We're going to normal summon Our Lady Debug. Worst case scenario, let's say they try to ash it, you're going to have to call by the grave it. This is going to search you out your... where are you? A cheat sheet. Now the only reason we're searching a cheat sheet out, I didn't even search out the field spell. Did I just search out Signet Mining instead of the field spell? Yeah, I did. Search Signet Mining. I just saw shiny and I was like, ah, yeah, cool, that's the field spell. Clearly not. There we go. Terraforming, search out Signet Mining. Next level plays in 2020. Anyway, so you got the field spell. You're gonna activate the field spell, and then you're gonna sack off your Lady Debug and go into your Link Gullible. There we go. Just to kind of unlock the zones, so you can use AI Land to special summon down your Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's effect is going to go off to search you an AI monster, or an Agnista monster, sorry. I'm going to go for the Picari. You're then going to link these two together and go into your Wicked. Now, yes, Nibiru will wreck this deck, unfortunately. It doesn't have protection from Nibiru just yet. We're then going to special summon Picari off of the field spell. That will trigger Picari's effect, and we are going to search ourselves out the Quick Play Monster Reborn. There you go. That will then, of course, trigger off Wicked's effect, and that will banish your Link Garibo, or of course your Lady Debug, which is probably the most ineffective right now, and that will search you out your Tuna. Where are you? There you go. So that searches you out your Budu. And then what you do is you link these two together for your transcode. There we go. You then special summon down your Buru, and then use transcode's effect to bring back your Wicked, and then you link all three of those together and go into your Templar. There we go. You then get to special summon down your Doyon to a zone that Templar points to, and that will trigger Templar's effect to revive two Agnista monsters. You can also bring back an Agnista monster, the one that you don't special summon back, to your hand should you want to use it. Now, obviously, we've used our normal summon on Lady Debug, and we have special summoned all three of these through the effect of the field spell. The one thing I haven't done, which I should have done, is send with the Buru. And with Buru, what you want to do is you want to send your Doshin. It's the only kind of other card you can play around with. If your Hiyari was a Doshin, then this board would end on a fusion monster as well, without having to use the Monster Reborn, but we're going to have to do that anyway. No, sorry, because the Buru sent. So the Buru, the Doyon will add back the Doshin. The Templar will revive your Picari and your Buru. You're then going to sync with your Buru and your Picari, sorry. This can be, again, Clock Dragon. With this one, we can now pop back row. Buru's effect is going to go off to bring back the Picari. Effect of this to pop back row, because you can now pop 4 back row, which is great. Then Picari can overlay and go into your Light Dragon. Effect of Light Dragon will pop 3 monsters. If you want to go a little bit further, you special summon down your Doshin because you control an Agnista monster. That will then trigger to pop 4 monsters instead. Keep in mind you want to look at future plays, because with this you can bring back a Link monster, and with this you bring back a Link monster. So you want to really kind of think about your plays going further forward before you start destroying everything. You're then going to use Doshin's effect to spin back your Cyberse Wicked to search you out your AI Love Fusion. Let's say our opponent has a Link monster on board. This is where it gets fun. Is use the effect of AI Love Fusion. Use your Doshin and one of your opponent's Link monsters, and go into your Earth Golem at Agnista. Now you take no damage for the rest of this turn, which is nice. And then the best thing of what you can do from here is, if you want to overextend a little bit, you can do. We're going to link these 3 here with 2 negates, and if my opponent wants to try and negate something, I'm just going to swing at them for more damage. Firewall. Now I'm going to put Firewall on this side, but the light kind of does cover it, so I do apologise for that. So now this way works is if a Cyberse monster you control does damage, you get to revive a Link monster. Then, if your Dark Attic Templar destroys a monster, it gets to revive a Link monster as well. So you bring back, if you want to play it safe and keep the Monster Reborn, what you can do, and again, like I said, we've used a Link monster. If we've used this effect, we've destroyed more monsters as well. So the way it would work is, this would do damage to your opponent. It would revive your Dark Templar. Dark Templar would then have to destroy a monster by battle. and that would then revive. Oh, not Earth Golem. That would then revive your transcode. And then, if you really, really wanted to, not that you need to, you could play this and bring back one of your Ignister monsters. If you want to be guaranteed to do damage, then what you do is you can Monster Reborn, or I've even got Monster Reborn to extend, but you would quick play, bring this back. This would then guarantee to do damage, because if it attacks something that's been special summoned from the extra deck, it gains its attack, so it will always do 23 damage. That will then revive the Templar. Templar will then destroy a monster by battle. That will then revive the transcode. You've then got Firewall, which is sitting on 8k, and all you've done is attack with these two here. So you still have a transcode, a Light Ignister, and a Firewall Dragon. Now, if you wanted to extend a little bit further before you even went into all of this and went into your Firewall, you could link stuff up a little bit further, and then Light Dragon can start bringing back different targets. If you want to go all out, balls deep to the wall, you play the Monster Reborn, you bring back your 5 Pegasus and just go, huh! But yeah, that's pretty much the power of this deck. It is very, very cool. It's just, it is quite consistent to get the combo going, but it's not like a half marathon kind of deck. It either needs to go all out and get to that board, or it goes, no, I don't want to play no more, and it bricks hard. Now, Joe did play this deck at this weekend, not this exact build, but he did play his version, and he did quite well with it as well, and it was a lot of fun to watch the dual replays as well. So we're going to do our final test hand, go in second, just to kind of show you the final kind of play and how consistent the deck can be. So, moving on to our final test hand, go in second, and our final test hand of 6 being, oh, hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Picari and Desires. Now, we've actually got to play because we've got Picari and another at Ignister. So we're going to have to use our normal summon of Picari. That will then let us search out the field spell. Now, keep in mind, we haven't special summoned Picari off of the field spell yet, so we do have a play still with that. If our opponent wants to try and Ash us, Ogre us, whatever, we've got the Call by the Grave just to be safe. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do pretty much the same play that we did last time. We're going to turn the Picari into the Link Garibo. Now, at this point, you want to keep the Doyon for later, so you're going to special summon down your Picari. Picari won't get a second effect because he's already searched out the field spell, but that's just for a free special summon. You're going to link the Link Garibo and your Picari into your Cyberse Wicked. Now, you can run the risk of Desiring. Now, the only bad thing that will happen if you Desires now, if you banish both of your Buru, you lose your Synchro play completely. But it does give you a bit more extension. If you use your Doyon now, the card it brings back is a bit of a waste because you can't special summon it to extend. You'd still be able to banish a Picari, search out the Synchro, and then kind of Desires and run around that way. But it just means what you add back with the Doyon isn't as good or as important as it could be. So we are going to Desires it. We're going to shuffle it up just to run the risk. If we banish both of our Buru, then we cry a little inside. If we don't, then happy days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Whoa. Whew. If we draw our second Buru, that's just as bad. 1, 2. Okay, that's not bad. Like, the Doshin was pretty much what we wanted off of that. So you can special summon Doshin using the effect of the field spell. And then we're going to use Wicked's effect to banish a Picari. And that will allow us to search out the final Buru in our deck. There we go, right on the top of the deck. Next draw, of course it would be. There we go. And then we're going to link those two together and go into our Transcoat Augur. You then get to use the effect of the field spell. And this one we're going to use Doyon. Do we want Doyon now? No, we'll do Doyon next. We're going to special summon down Buru off its own effect. And that will then use its effect to send. Now the only card you've got left to send is your Hiryu and your Achichi. So we're going to send the Achichi. I don't think it wants to go to a zone, it points to either, there we go. And then we're going to use Transcode's effect to bring back your Wicked. Going to link all 3 of those together. And go into your Templar. And now your opponent's going to activate TT. Joking. Then you're going to special summon the Doyon. That will then trigger Doyon's effect and of course Templar's effect. Doyon, you want to add back the Doshin And then Templa's effect, you want to bring back the Buru and the Picari. You're then going to synchro your Picari and your Buru together. And again, Pegasus or Clock Dragon. Ignister can pop back row now if you want it to, because it would trigger back Buru to bring back Picari and you're popping 4 back row. But what I've kind of said to Joe is, at the point where you make your XYZ and your synchro, or more so the synchro, by this point, any back row they're sitting on is not going to be like a Mirror Force or anything. The back row that they would have been sitting on at the start of the turn would be like a Judgment or stuff to interact with you earlier on. So whatever you're popping, be careful, because it could possibly be Awaken the Dragon if they know what you're playing. So we've got this far. You can then use your Doshin's effect to special summon itself. You can use this effect to spin back your Cyverse Wicked. I think I saw the AI Love Fusion get banished, so that might be good. That will be the other gamble. There you go. The AI Love Fusion as well. If you want to use Light Dragon's effect to destroy monsters, you can do, but you've got to be very, very careful. It's a non-target destruction, but you don't want to destroy it more than what you need in order to extend your board further. So again, what we've got to play with, the AI Love Fusion, is use your Doshin and your opponent's Link monster and go into your Golem. Now again, if you want to link them up into the Firewall, which it's just the play that I like. I really, really like going into the Firewall. Always use the Fusion and the Synchro, because they're the ones that don't really have battle effects. And this, of course, would be on the other side. So just keep that in mind. You've then got an 8k Fluid that can negate, and if they negate during the damage step, then it can attack again. You then have the ability to use your AI Reborn again to bring back your Golem. Now Golem just guarantees you're going to do some battle damage. Simple as that. So let's say we haven't used Ignisters and we haven't popped anything. The only thing we've done is stolen our opponent's Link monster to make the fusion. Earth Golem attacks guaranteed damage, because as long as it battles something that's special summoned, it's going to always do 23. That will then trigger Light Dragon's effect to bring back your Templar. You then attack with Templar, and as long as it can destroy something by battle, it will bring back your Transcode Talker. Now this should already do guaranteed damage, but can you imagine that what we've done now is just brought back your Transcode. We're going to attack with Transcode again 23, attack with an Ignister again 23, destroying all our opponent's cards. They've got nothing left, and then we just go Fluid for game at 8k, and if they ever want to try and stop it, they go, alright, I'll lose 2500, Fluid for 55. Alright, you want to do it again? Fine, Fluid for 3k. Now, if they've got any monster effects left, like, I don't know, Scrap Scarecrow or something like that, you stop all of those and you're just still going in for attack. And they've had to face 23 damage already. This is going to guarantee to do you damage, or do them damage. Transcode, let's say this does 23 damage. Does nothing. Let's just say it kills something in defense, kills something in defense, kills something in defense. Then go on 8k Fluid. Worst case scenario, let's say they drop a Scarecrow on you. This goes down to 55. And you've already got 23 off of that, so you're doing 78 damage. And then your opponent has to come back from this with a Fluid that already has 1 negate and all of these cards here. Now, if they were worst case scenario to survive, what you can do is you still have in your armory the ability to go into an Avramax, or the ability to go into an IP Avramax if you wanted to as well. Entirely up to you. And then that will be coupled off with your Dark Fluid Dragon. So you've got a lot to build with, and a lot to play with. Yes, as everyone would like to point out, Nibiru will wreck this deck going first, and even the Imperm would wreck this deck, but like a well-timed Ash Blossom or a well-timed Imperm on a Picari, if they do not have the field spell, will absolutely nuke them. If they have the field spell already, the only thing that can really stop it is like a Ghost Ogre. And not many people are playing Ghost Ogres right now, so keep that in mind. Lady Debug is definitely a card that I am considering dropping. It's not bad, but like me and Joe also talked about Flame Buffalo as well. But the reason I like this deck so much is just the ability to get into Fluid Dragon. Like, when Fluid Dragon first came out, I loved it. I thought, its effect was really cool. But I just liked how cool it looked. Like, it's the Firewall we deserved. It looks so badass, but it's not stupidly busted that it's going to get banned. But really fun deck. Really enjoyed playing it. A lot of fun. And I can't wait to kind of play with it a bit more going further forward and wait for the new support to come out. And it is a deck that relies on links quite a bit, but it'd be nice to kind of see where it goes after Master Rules and if it still get played. If the prices start to come down a little bit as well, it's definitely worth picking up because you'll thoroughly enjoy this at your locals. And if your opponent doesn't open up their Nibiru, doesn't get to Nibiru, doesn't get a way of stopping you, this deck can actually run riot. One thing it does lose to is, unfortunately, a window because it does struggle to deal with that. But that's where you side deck into stuff like Kaijus, Super Polys. Super Poly is really good as well because you already have a target on this. So you just use a Silas and a Link monster and you're always going to have a Silas monster floating around because that is what your whole deck is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.